What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the next video for the beginners series. Today we're going to be combining day 3 and 4. Unfortunately, some IRL stuff happened yesterday, so I wasn't really able to log in or really do anything. However, I'm going to do a recap of what we were able to achieve over the last 2 days. The first thing I want to talk about, which I recommend everyone doing, is just for now, you should definitely be buying the Dimensional Hole Recharge every week. We were able to purchase it just before the weekly reset, so I was able to get that extra 50 energy from the last week's shop. Let's quickly move on to the skills in the skill tower. We were able to upgrade our attack speed, crit damage, and attack power to level 10. The next thing we're actually going to be doing is moving on to energy recharge speed and upgrading this. The reason why I didn't upgrade this earlier was purely because we were leveling up so quickly that we were always just getting into max energy. So there just was no real reason to actually have this upgraded until probably about now. You can do this a little bit earlier, but as I said, I did this now. I'm probably just going to be waiting until the next unlock at level 40 so that we can just chuck everything straight into the attack speed, crit damage, attack power, and the energy recharge speed. Obviously, everything is going to be maxed eventually, so if you do make a mistake, it's not really a big issue. You're more than welcome to chuck some stuff into defense and HP for now, but I just feel like we don't really need it, as our priority is to try to clear things as fast as possible. In your crafting section, if you go to the building tabs, you're also able to build the energy extractor. This is just another way to get some more free energy, so I do recommend you go and farm these scenario stages so that you can craft this right now. The energy max storage increase is also nice, but you can do this at any time. The only thing that I'm going to say is super important is later on you have some dimensional hole energy charge rate towers, so you are going to want to focus on getting these cleared as soon as possible as well. However, don't worry about it too much, just do it when you get onto it. The only other building that I probably would recommend if you are playing this game long term, this Crystal Dragon, once you get to level 35, is definitely worth purchasing. The more you play, obviously, the more crystals we will get back from just having this existing in our islands. I had a lot of people come and ask me how I was able to clear necro on day 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link to my live stream down in the description. This will take you to where I was able to complete the necro live and I showed some of the viewers just how to do it, so you're more than welcome to go check that out as well. So let's talk about what I did yesterday. Just a quick reminder, guys, I have not done really any rune farming whatsoever just yet. All the runes I've gotten were from the monsters from the new event, the seasonal fever event, as well as anything that I got from, like, daily rewards, etc. The one thing I do want to talk about is in the growth fever event, though. Once again, we've been collecting fight runes every day, but I also collected 2 sets of fight runes to help complete some sets for my dimensional rift team. So for the elemental rifts, all the fire, wind, water, ice, and dark ones, we needed to complete some sets just so we were able to get the damage to clear the runs. If you need to take maybe 3 or 4 just to get your sets, feel free to do it. I'm probably going to stop here and start moving on to whatever I need to clear other content. It's most likely going to be, Via, Rage, etc. But we'll see what we do when it comes up. Now, we were able to do this all on day 3, and into day 4, we were just continuously farming as we are going to build the Homunculus today. So what we were able to achieve was we got triple S on the fire dungeon. We only got A on the water one, but I didn't really do this too much. We could probably get S or higher if we really wanted to. The one we've been farming the most is the wind dungeon, as we are going to be building the wind homunculus first, and this is by far the easiest one to farm for beginner accounts. The light rift, we were also able to achieve triple S. The dark rift, we need to probably fuse another team up monster like Rayok or Seren, and we'll be able to get triple S on that one as well. Let's go through the teams and the runes so you guys can build this to clear it for yourselves. As you'll see, the fight sets are super important for ensuring that we can clear this dungeon. For starters, we had Urgar on double fight focus. The focus set wasn't really necessary, but it is what I had lying around. Now, Fran needs to be putting up immunity for the team. There is this one point in the second stage where we could potentially get stunned and it could cause the team to wipe. So in my opinion, I liked putting her on Vio. The other thing is her AI isn't amazing, so this does help stop any, errors happening. For Lapis, still unskilled on the fatal blade set we got from the beginning of the game. Crow is on the rage set that we got from the beginning of the game. One thing that I want to point out that was super important for ensuring we had enough damage for the clear is I went and I farmed artifacts for the damage dealers. It's really important to get artifacts on your Baeliger, your Crow, and whatever other damage dealer you're using in this dungeon, as this could actually be the difference between a clear and a fail. A lot of the time on the second stage, what end up happening is you'll probably get to like 90% of the damage and your team might wipe. The artifacts are going to be what's going to push you over the line so that you're getting your triple S's. As I'm mostly farming the wind dungeon, I pretty much just look for anything with damage delta on wind. As well on right side, I was just looking for anything with any crit damage lines, and we actually got a pretty decent one right here. We put Vertihill on a triple fight set. This is honestly necessary. You're going to need a lot more damage output on your 3 main damage dealers, so putting them on the triple fight really pushes you over the line. Last unit is the Baeliger. I did show you him briefly. The last unit is the Baeliger. I did show you him briefly just before, but he is on the Rage Blade set that he comes with from the event. You don't need to change anything. Just go and farm some artifacts for him, and this will ensure that you can get triple S on the Fire Dungeon. So the Fire Dungeon is not a 100% triple S team. There is ways for this team to fail, but it is pretty consistent. I would say it's between the 90 to 95% range. This is perfectly fine though. We don't need to really focus on the Fire Dungeon anyway. We're just using it to get some early crystals for crafting like Reap stones and stuff like that. We did one run and we got a new high score, but as you can see, you can get triple S with this setup, and it is not too hard for you to make for your own accounts. Moving on to the Wind Beast, this one is by far the best one to farm, as we are going to be focusing on building the Wind Homunculus for our giant speed team, and it is super easy with this current lineup. For Riley, the first thing you want to do is move that Vio set from Fran from the previous dungeon onto her. If you can go get artifacts to increase recovery on the right side, feel free to do it. It might help with some of the clears, but I had no issues with this dungeon. Urgar is once again our leader skill. He's on the exact same set as before. Crow is unchanged. Baeliger is unchanged. Vertihill is unchanged. And finally, Lauren is also on a triple fight set. This really did help push us over the line for getting a consistent triple S team. This team is super consistent. I've probably seen it only fail like once or twice so far. We're going to continuously be farming this over the next day or two as we want to build our Wind Homunculus. We're going to fully skill it up and Devilmon it as well. For the Light Beast team, everything else is on the same sets. The one thing I do recommend is taking that triple fight set we had on the Lauren and moving it over to Mav. Mav is actually really good for these Elemental Rift dungeons. If you find that you're dying during this stage, feel free to 6-star him. I don't need him to survive too far. He just needs to do a couple turns and then that's it. We will start working on the Ice Beast as well as the Dark Beast a little later. Right now, they're not really that essential, so I am going to move on to something else. Okay, everyone, it is time for us to craft our Homunculus. So you do need to farm enough of the fire crystals just for the initial craft, but we're going to summon it right now. Ooh, I haven't seen this animation in a long time. All right, we're just going to call this one Hakuna. For the other side, we'll probably end up calling it Matata. The names honestly don't matter whatsoever. Feel free to do whatever you want. We're just going to go with this. So we are now going to start working on the Wind Homunculus. For the Wind Homunculus, we're going to be going on the bottom pathway. We're also going to be upgrading any skills that say deals damage proportionate to the target's max HP. So this should be this one here, as well as this one here. Seeing as we can't get triple S on the Dark Dungeon right now, what I do recommend people do is go into the event page. I'll quickly show you guys. In the event page, there is an event where we can collect some condensed magic crystals as well as an attribute of our choice. You can go down and collect one of the dark crystals here and just say collect. Now, all you have to do is go back and farm the 2 dungeons that we're getting triple S in and fully max this out. You are going to want to take the Homunculus to 6-star. Let's find him real quick. Where are you, Mr. Homunculus? You are going to want to take this guy to 6-star as well as Devilmon him. This guy is the best in slot as a safety net for your giant speed teams. I do recommend building him if you're starting a new account. More progressed players can ignore building the Wind Homunculus. However, he still is the best in slot for that safety net as he does have an extra life. Let's talk about my plans moving from day 4 into day 5. I'm going to test something out. I'm not too sure if I can recommend this to new users just as of yet. However, we are going to go into the new Seal unit. We're going to try using her for our Giants Abyssal team. The biggest thing about Rune Dungeon farming is I don't want the teams to be running like 2.5, 3 minutes long. This is just too slow. What I'm trying to do is make a beginner's Giants Abyss team that is between 1 minute to 1 minute 30. Once we start getting some better runes, we should be able to decrease that time well below a minute. For any of your guild events, you're free to just go in and chuck whatever you can to help clear that level. It doesn't really matter. I've already said this before. It doesn't really matter if you lose or if you don't really do anything. Your best thing to do right now is to go in and get contribution, as this is going to give you points so you can start buying your Ifrit summoning pieces as well as anything else in the guild shop. That's going to be all for this one, guys. Hope you are enjoying the series. Remember, if you did enjoy the video, to give it a like down below. And if you're looking forward to more content from me, make sure you do subscribe. Peace out.